Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Jessie, and welcome to my Tiny Talks podcast, the show where we'll dive into self-love, inner child healing, and discovering your soul's purpose. I look forward to chatting with you every single Tuesday and Thursday and helping you grow exponentially in all areas of your life. Without further ado, here's today's Tiny Talk. Hello, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of Tiny Talks. I am your host, Jessie Brown, and I am so excited to be here with you all for episode 48 of Tiny Talks. In this episode, I am going to get a little more raw with you guys. I am going to be dialing up my truth. I am going to be going in on our mindset. There was a fire lit within me this morning, and I have just felt so pulled to come on here and speak from my heart with you all. I hope that you know that throughout this episode, everything is coming from my heart. Everything is coming from a part of me that just wishes nothing but the best for you and sees your potential. I hope that you know that this is something that we all need to hear sometimes, and that can be hard to hear. But sometimes it's those hard messages that give us that push to change our life. And again, I hope you know that this is coming from a place of just wanting the best for you. And if there's anything within this that triggers you or pushes a button within you, know that it might be doing that for a reason, and tending to that and listening to that. I hope that this drives you and inspires you to become the next best version of yourself and to elevate your life. And so without further ado, here is episode 48. I just want to first start off by saying that our mindset is literally everything. And when we are able to bring awareness to that and validate for ourselves how much our mindset matters, that is when our life will begin to shift. I see time and time and time again in our society, people stuck in the same places, doing the same things, feeling frustrated, feeling blocked, without realizing that it's all coming down to our mindset. Because if we're waking up each and every morning with a negative mindset or with a negative outlook on our day, a negative outlook on life, that is what we are going to see, and that is what is going to be brought back to us. And I don't think we realize, and we often go through our whole lives in these headspaces because that was likely taught to us, that was shown to us, we've learned that through life experiences, whatever it is, and we get so stuck in our ways. And I'm realizing that by doing my own work and by focusing on my mindset in reading and evolving and going to coaching and just listening to inspirational speeches and doing all these things, the one thing that is always in common is our mindset. And so I want you to ask yourself, what is your mindset on life? How do you view obstacles in your life? When something tries to veer you off your path, how do you respond to that? Is your reaction to get upset and to feel like you're failing and to give up? Or do you allow that to push you and to strive you into the next phase of your life? Because if you think back at times in your life, it's often those times that we feel lost and confused and down that we end up finding our greatest potentials and memories and things in our life. But in the moment, it can really feel devastating and overwhelming and like we want to call it quits because that's the easy thing to do. But how much time are you spending in your head telling yourself you are not enough, you are not worthy, you are not capable, this is how your life is and this is how it will be? And if you tell yourself that and you've already convinced yourself of that, until you shift that, that is exactly what it will be. And I just have this fire that's been lit inside of me recently because I'm just so sick and tired of hearing all these same mindsets of just, this is just how it is and it's just negative, and coping with all these things in our life to just scratch level these feelings that we're having. But imagine if we all put in the work each individually and did things that we need to do to heal the parts of us that either events that we have gone through or events that our mothers and our grandparents and our ancestors have gone through, and we do the work to heal that. Because the thing in our society that I don't think we realize is that we are continuously passing these mindsets and these genes down to our children and to our future society. But we are living in such a society that is so focused on minimalist mindset. We're all tricked so easily by social media, by society, by higher power, by money, by all these things. Think about even our system, right? We go to school to get a job, to be oftentimes in debt, financially struggling, right? Our relationships start to struggle because of that. Our family dynamic struggles because of that. Traumatic things happen. We have a negative outlook, which gives us more reassurance on why our life sucks, but then we don't do the work to fix it. And so that just keeps continuing. And I think that we're living in such a society right now where things are so easily tangible and easy to have that we don't want to do the work. We don't want to work hard for the things that we want. We just want them, and we want them now. But that is so frustrating because for myself personally, I sit at my office every single day and I put in the work and I try to learn and evolve and grow. And then I get around people who just feel like the world is out to get them. And yes, I understand that life happens and things happen and we're humans and we have emotions and we have all those things. But I also think that there is a point that we do need to take some accountability for our mindset and the way that we're living our life. Because only you have the power and the ability and the conscious ability to take everything that you've gone through to get you to where you are right now and to shift how you want that to look forward. Because as Steve Jobs says, we cannot connect the dots looking forward, we can connect them looking backwards. And so think about that for a moment. Think about how everything in your life has gotten you exactly to where you are right now in this moment. Think about how those life events that happened that in the moment seemed impossible and like they were going to be the end of your life have pushed you to be exactly where you are right now. What is your mindset when you think about the future? What is your mindset when you think about your life, when you think about money, when you think about abundance, your relationships, your life? What is your mindset about that? Because I can guarantee you that there's parts of your life that can definitely use improvements because we all can. But I think that the vast majority of us think that things are supposed to just be handed to us. Things are supposed to just be easy. But when we have those fixed mindsets and those fixed thinking, we are only doing a disservice to ourselves. And again, this is something that lights a fire within me because I know what it's like to be on both sides of it. I know what it's like to have those fixed mindsets, to feel stuck, to feel worthless, to feel like there's no hope, to feel like giving up, right? I've had tons of suicidal ideations in my life. I've been at the point of throwing in the towel and just calling it all quits. But the difference is that through doing work and through showing up and through going to therapy and growing myself, I was able to shift that. And so I'm here living, breathing proof. And what that is the reason why I have a podcast in the first place is because I want to transform that for you guys and inspire you guys that that is so possible. But it is not possible if you've already told yourself that it's not. If you just tell yourself every single day that you're just waiting for something to happen, you're waiting for good things to happen, you're waiting for your dream life to happen, that is not going to happen. And I am someone who is very spiritual and into manifestation and into all those things. But I hear so much people just say, I'm manifesting this, I'm manifesting that. But are you doing the work? Because you can't just manifest your dream life without putting in some way, shape, or form of doing the work. Right? We don't just get given these things. We have to prove to ourselves and through, if you are spiritual, the universe, that we are worthy of that. And if you're just expecting something and have these blocked mindsets, it's exactly that. It's a block, right? We try to communicate and push through, but if we have a blocked mindset about something, how is it going to happen? If we don't think we are worthy or capable of something, how are we going to manifest that into our life? And I spent all morning this morning listening to inspirational speeches and listening to things because for me, that is how we grow. It's getting around like-minded people, getting around people that help us grow, right? Get out of those relationships that make you feel like crap. Get away from those people that are veering you away from your potential. And I have an episode coming out this week all about why we always need to be who we are and why we need to be unique and we need more uniqueness in our world because we're so guilty of trying to follow other people and go with other people and meet others' expectations that we forget and lose touch with ourselves. And the further that we dwindle away from ourselves and our true self, the more harm we're doing to ourselves. And I was in group coaching last night and I learned this amazing analogy that Alan from Next Level University taught us, which basically is that we have our truth. And as life happens, we pretty much walk away from that. I like to think of it almost like the yellow brick road in The Wizard of Oz. When she's walking and going in a twirl, that is us walking away from our truth. And oftentimes when things happen, a trauma, a life event, a death, something horrific, that is when there's like a block in front of us. And that's when we start to go back and we start to find our true self. And that's oftentimes why when we have traumas, people say, I found my potential. But your potential is always there. It is within you. You just have to be willing to look for it, listen, see the signs, and do the work. I felt so pulled to come on here and share this because I just know so deep in my core that we all have so much potential and so much worth and just so much greatness that we can give the world, but we're so stuck in our head. And I think a lot of it comes down to gratitude. We think that the world owes us something. We think that we are less than without all these materialistic things. And so fill your mind with gratitude. Be grateful that you even woke up this morning. Be grateful that you have legs to walk. Grateful that you have eyes to see. Grateful that you have a house to walk into, food at your convenience, right? We have so many things to be grateful for. I don't even know you who I'm speaking to right now. And there's so many things that I can tell you to be grateful for. But I can sit here and tell you, but that's not going to do any good if you don't believe it and see it for yourself. And so getting around that headspace, switching your thinking, being open to learning and evolving. I think we live in a society that personal development is so rare. And I think for a long time that I didn't think that it was that rare. I thought it was pretty common and I was the one behind. But now that I'm leaning into personal development and into growth and becoming the best next version of myself, I'm realizing that personal development and growth is a lot more rare than we think. And I think that it's rare because to grow personal development, that means that we have to heal. That means that we have to heal the things that we've gone through to be able to look back and connect the dots to move forward. But if we are so stuck in our ways and in our mindset and that block thinking, we are going to be stuck there forever. It is just that. We will be stuck there until we cognitively are able to put our foot down, say enough is enough, and shift. I remember during COVID, I woke up one morning and I just told myself, my life needs to change from here on out. And this morning I had another one of those feelings where I woke up and I'm like, okay, something is not working. I'm not feeling joy in certain areas of my life. I'm feeling depleted. I'm feeling less than. I'm feeling like I'm not attracting the right things. I feel like I'm putting all this work and not seeing an outcome. And so something has to shift. But my view of that was not negative, but instead lighting that fire, fueling yourself, giving yourself that ignition to just start your engine and go. It's okay if it's stalled for a while. It's okay if you've been out of gas for a while, but know that it can start again. Know that you can start that journey whenever it is that you want to. And if you want that to wait 5 years from now, that's on you. But if you're ready now to put in the work and change your mindset and get around those people and to just do the things, I applaud you because it is not easy to do. But I am so excited to release this podcast because it's one that is just fueled out of my soul right now. I have no notes other than pouring from my heart right now to share with you guys. Because I think that this is something that our world needs more of, and that's more of us speaking our truth, speaking organically, doing the things that we feel pulled to do. The fact that I'm doing this in such a raw way, just out of my heart, just shows my passion for knowing that your potential is so much bigger than you're giving yourself credit for. Your potential is so much more than you could even fathom and imagine. And I really started to notice this more last summer when I moved back to my hometown. And because it is a hometown and there's a lot of a small community, and there's a lot of the same people here doing the same things, doing the same jobs, I noticed things here that have been the exact same since I moved away 6 years ago. And to me, that just shows that our environment also really does set us up for how we're going to live our life. And had I not left my province and gone to a different province when I graduated, I might be doing the same things. But let this be your sign to check in with how your mindset is. And I'm saying that a lot because mindset is everything. How we view things, how we respond to situations, right? It's all an indicator of where we're at with our life, where we're at with our trajectory, where we're at with personal development, where we're at with self-love. Our mindset determines everything. Horrific things are going to happen. Death is going to happen. Trauma is going to happen. But it's how we choose to look at that. And yes, in a trauma-informed perspective, yes, we need to heal. And yes, I understand there are real physiological and psychological changes that happen during trauma. But at the end of the day, once we are through that, it's up to us to pivot. I have PTSD, I have OCD, I have ADHD, I have trauma in my background, I have a high ACEs score, I have all these things. But I also have the awareness in my heart and in my mind that I am so much more than that. That does not shape my identity anymore. That did for a very long time. And we all hold these identities based on our experiences because they're a protector for us. They're a protector to keep us safe so those things don't happen anymore. But that abuse or that person or that relationship or that event or that car crash or that death or that whatever, That is not happening to you every single day. But your mind will make it seem like it is by putting you into survival states for your whole life until we're cognitively able to address that is even happening. And I started my podcast to spread awareness on inner child healing, discovering your purpose, and becoming the best version of yourself, because it's such resignation with me, because I know what it's like to be on the other side. I know that it's hard to do. I know that it's a hard pill to swallow. But I also know that if you want to become the best version of yourself to serve the world in your own unique way, it comes down to your mindset. It comes down to those little things that you're doing every single day, the stories you're telling yourself, the ways that you communicate with other people, the person that you are when no one's around, how you act when people are around. It all will equivalent to the life that you are setting up for yourself. And so get real and get honest with yourself. Ask yourself if you are living true to yourself, if you are living the life that you think that you wish to live. Are you living in a constant survival state? Are you living with past identities? Are you allowing other people to control you? Do you have a negative outlook on life? Do you think the world owes you something? This is real and this is true, and my truth dial is 10 right now because I'm just so sick and tired of these fixed mindsets. And this is an aggressive episode, and it's intended to be because I want it to light a fire within you, to change your life, to become the best version of yourself, because you have so much potential. You right now listening, you have infinite possibilities and potential. Stop telling yourself that you don't. Stop telling yourself that your life just is what it is. If you're telling yourself that, that means in some way, shape, or form, you have become too comfortable. Get uncomfortable. Get out of that comfortable state. It hurts. It stings. It's hard. It's not easy, but it is so worth it. It is so worth it, and you are so deserving of that. So my friend, I hope that this just inspires you to reflect on your life. Reflect on how you're living. Reflect on how you're showing up. Reflect on your mindset. Because you have it within you. You are so beyond capable. Find gratitude, get in your head, notice what's going on, and put in the work. I am so, so proud of you. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in, and just know that this is coming out of a place of love. This is coming out of a place of me that just took a step back and could see our world and just how it's going and the toxicity. And there is so much beauty in our world, and I love to find the beauty, and it's all there. But in order for us to collectively begin to see that and work towards that, we kind of have to get the BS out of the way, to get real with ourselves, to get true with ourselves of how we're showing up, how we're acting, how we're viewing our life. Get out of your head and into your heart. Much love as always. I look forward to chatting with you all next week. Bye, you guys. Thank you all so much for tuning into this week's episode of Tiny Talks. I absolutely love connecting with you all, so make sure you're following me on Instagram. I am at JessieBrown13. If you enjoyed today's episode, please feel free to leave a review or share with someone you think would enjoy. I look forward to chatting with you all next week. And remember, get out of your head and into your heart.